3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Runs podcast with me, Gareth, and patriotic friend Nicky. That's a nice one, Nick.
It is. It's an old one. It's not. It's obviously a retro one, isn't it? But yeah, it's the old 70s, I think, late 70s.
Oh,
Yeah,
that.
Wales are on as we are recording, so people, you better appreciate our time because we're missing the game.
I know, and I support Wales again now because Bellamy's back in charge, so
Yeah,
my hiatus is over.
Yeah, we've got a decent manager now.
I know. I wonder if he regrets now having that tattoo behind his ear because it doesn't quite suit him when he's on the sideline. But
I don't think Craig Bellamy regrets anything, mate.
No, neither do I. What's been going on? How are you feeling? How's training going?
Yeah, slowly getting there, mate. It's taken me longer to recover from runs and things. I'm only doing, I say only, I'm fucking thankful that I'm back up to 4 or 5 days a week and getting above 30 miles with no relative issues. I'm having obviously aches and my back and the sciatica down my leg is still there, but it's not stopping me running at the minute. So yeah, we're progressing the right way. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it keeps going like this now, and I can keep going towards that London marathon.
Yeah, absolutely. I seen your post this weekend with the you were taking tips off Roger with the fire flames over the shoes no one's allowed to see.
Yeah, I have to deny it. Yes, I tried them out Sunday. Probably wasn't the best route or because I did so for our castles, because we're in castles, we got qualified with a double lap of the Ogmore Valley. So if anyone knows it, it's like a 5 mile loop. You got to run twice. It's got 900 odd feet of elevation, so it was hard and stormy lane steep. So it wasn't the best sort of run to try them on, but I needed to try them. And yeah, they're cracking shoot. Really liked fast when I could get going on the downhills and the bit of flat there is. But yeah, so I thought I said to Liam when because she came up and walked the dogs, it was nice. All I do started with me and he disappeared after a mile. We won't go into that anymore. Sorry, Al, you've seen you at the EGM last night and you said he wasn't well. So yeah, great up. I'd love to be able to wear them Sunday for Sandom, but obviously I'm not allowed, so
no.
I have to wear my old alphas.
We'll get on to Sandom now. See, I went in a cupboard just now, made food before we came on because we're a bit later this week, and the fucking flour fell out. I thought I was gonna. Yeah, no, I thought I was gonna be like Marv or Home Alone. Is it flour? He gets covered in flour, doesn't he?
Yeah, he goes through. I can't remember, but it's flour.
Yeah. But yeah, my fucking cuff is all white now. But
you sure that's what it is?
Yeah, fuck I. Creatine.
How was your week of training been? Seen you got another long run in?
You know, I'm going to go running this week, right? But I just can't get going in a week. But I done 4 miles on Saturday. Easy, enjoyed it, pips. And then me and Arlen, this is Craig Jones's fault, right? Because Craig posted his lovely views of the path that goes from the Big Apple, another Big Apple in Mumbles.
Yeah.
And the path goes all the way around the cliffs down to Caswell Bay.
Yeah.
So my brother was like, let's do that. So I put it in my phone and I was like, that is fucking hilly, mate. Real hilly. He's like, oh, it can't be that bad. It was really bad.
But
yeah, it was all right though. Like because it's about, I think it's 7 miles or just under 7 miles from the Civic Centre down to the Big Apple anyway.
Is it?
And that felt great. I was worried about my heart rate Saturday, but you told me that's fine. And then my heart rate was so much lower running with my brother because he's a little bit slower, obviously. But then we got up into the hills, apart. They're not hills. Craig and Emily march and eat them up for fucking breakfast. So the views were sensational. I'll definitely take Amy and the dogs down there for a walk. But that's not what you need when you're meant to be running 17 miles. You need it to be flat,
Ideally, yeah. You don't, especially if you wasn't fully aware of what it was going to be like.
No, blind. We went into it blind, and every corner we're like, oh, jeepers. But it was all right. And then, obviously, you don't feel the effect of those hills until you get back onto the flat, because we were going down to Caswell, turning, and it was the exact same terrain in reverse then. So when you get down onto the flat, it was a chore then getting back to the cars. But 3.5 hours on feet, didn't it? Like,
yeah, that's cracking.
It was a good realization, because I came home and I thought, I don't know what. But it's just the running journey, innit? It doesn't end with a marathon at this point. I'm not going to win the marathon. I might finish 1,000 places slower because I haven't prepped properly, but I'm going to keep running after it, aren't I? So I don't really feel the Manchester Marathon is just a checkpoint, isn't it, really?
Yeah, but hopefully you can, you don't have a fucking bad day and you suffer for fucking 4 or 5 hours. Hopefully you can enjoy it, innit? That's what this first one's got to be about now.
No, this is first and last, but...
You fucking liar.
I texted Arwell earlier. I was like, when is the Run for All series this year? Because I'm going back to shorter distance. You're savages, like marathon runners. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, when are they? That's a good point, because we was on about this. Me and Ali did in the AGM, Phoenix AGM last night. He was on about what races am I in for in the summer, and I said, I don't know, dates are ending yet. I know Safa, I'm sure I've seen Safa dates, but I haven't paid much attention yet.
May, July, and August, I think he said. But he said they might change.
Yeah, like Paul Popham is, well, you put that in, didn't you? That's May, June, July, and then I'm sure Safa's similar. They usually like sort of alternate weeks as well, so plenty of chance to get up and get some 5Ks in, boy. Local.
Yeah. And yeah, Pithcall and
10K, yeah.
But yeah, happy days. But then I'm worried then about racing, use the term racing loosely. I did text Bishy last night and say I'm going to fucking smoke you this week on the 10 miles, which I will not do because Bishy's flying. But at the same time, I should be like probably trying to do extra miles, shouldn't I? But then at the same time, I don't really give a fuck and I just want to have a good time, like, innit?
Yeah, it depends where you want to. If you're not looking to chase times anymore, then yeah, it's just about getting to events and enjoying it, if that's what you want to get out of it.
Yeah. But I shirt done up today. Exactly, and that's why the podcast is hopefully so popular, because it's a different story every week, isn't it?
Yeah.
But what's that like? Prep me for that. I'm doing the 10 miler, you're doing the 20 miler down Sandom this weekend.
Yeah, so Sandom, I've used it for, now I've probably done it 5-6 times, I'd say, because it's always a good one. It's usually a month or so before London or Newport or Manchester. So a lot of people use the 20 miler for a long run instead of being out on your own. It's a good long run tester of your gels, your pacing. Yeah, so I've always, well, I say always, and I've done it for 5-6 times, I think. It's changed a couple of times. The route, I don't know, because I can't work it out on the website. You can't see the actual route map, can you? I don't know if it's updated it from last year. But so last
year... it's just a screenshot, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's not showing the full thing. So it's down and back up this Taff Trail, basically, from Merthyr, behind the leisure centre. It's quite a casual one as well. Rock up there, get your number. No fucking frills. T-shirt at the end. No medal, just T-shirt. Prizes for winners of categories. Then, yeah, so you start behind on the cycle path. Now, when I've done it before, you've sometimes gone up and done a loop towards Merthyr town for the first mile, then gone down 4.5, turned, come back up. But last year, and I think maybe the year before even, there was works going on because you go under like a bridge. So for the last couple of years, it's been to face the other way. You go down, little hump to start, excuse me. Then you go down the cycle track, couple of road crossings, really well marshalled, fair play, brilliant. You go down, and then you got the A470, I think you go under at about mile 4.5, and there is a little bastard of an hill you got to go up and down to turn around because of this, not at the other end. So you go up, down, turn around the corner, back up the other way, back to the leisure centre to finish for you for the 10, and then obviously we just turn around again and go again. But yeah, I've always enjoyed it, always gone back, really cheap race, well organised by San Domenico. There's gel stations, loads of water stations, because obviously you're out and back, and because there's people doing the 10 and 20, you're on the same loop. It's well supported by, the runners you pass in and going the other way. So yeah I've always enjoyed it. It's always been a state of my training. I'd rather go and do that. I pay like the 15-20 quid than do fucking 7 laps on my stag. Do you know what I mean? Or whatever.
Yeah. Grant done 7 laps on my stag, didn't he, last week?
Last week, yeah. Reminded me, I done it during COVID. So when the London Marathon got cancelled, obviously the April after the March. Well, I went out and done 8 laps tonight because I trained. I was like, I'm still fucking running a marathon. So I laughed when I seen that. But he done it considerably quicker.
But no, yeah, I think I'm quite looking forward to it now. I think 10 miles should be quite comfortable, really, as long as I run my race like in it and not.
Yeah, just like I say, don't get caught up with the quicker 10 milers and the 20 milers. Run your pace. Just enjoy yourself on the out and back down. It's a slight downhill going down, slight uphill coming back, but it's a cycle path. It's not really hilly, apart from that one hill at the bottom. That's the only real hill, and it is a bit of a bastard, I won't lie, but it's not long. It's only a short little kick, both sides.
Yeah.
But and there's loads of people we know doing it in it, so it should be good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to because we haven't seen anyone for ages now. Like,
no, we haven't been up and about.
It'd be nice. I know Bishy's doing it. I've seen Tammy Fryer's doing it. There's a couple of other people on the list. I see like
a couple of Canelli, Justine, Sean. There's a couple of the Ponty boys I know. I think Joey's doing it. There's loads. I was looking at the list the other day. There's loads of people I know, so it'd be good. Yeah, it'd be good. Hopefully, 20 miles. I haven't done anything over 13 when I done Bath half, and I haven't done anything over that since Valencia, which is 4.5 months ago. So yeah, it's going to be. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to approach it yet.
Be all right, man.
Yeah.
You can't wear them shoes either, can you? You can't wear those Pumas then, can you?
I can't wear the Pumas. No. I'm not allowed to wear them at races.
Can you just wear bags around them or something? Black bags around them?
Well, I could wear them. I just got the risk of photos being put somewhere that I'm never seeing them, and then I'm in the shit. And I saw it's not worth it. Yeah. I will wear them again for another training run, maybe the week after. Not that I think there's any issue with them, but just, because I've only done 10 miles and I need to have another run out of them, I think. Maybe my last long run after. Switching to them for a bit of after,
I've got to do. I'm doing that. I'm doing the 20 miles this time with my father-in-law, same route from SA1 down to Broadlands. Nice. But he's finished then. I mean, he's going backwards now. I seen him Sunday down the front.
So he's doing Newport, yeah?
No, he's doing
Manchester. He's training with people.
But he's been training with the Paris group.
Paris, that's it, yeah. I knew it was one of the
earlier ones. A couple of weeks ahead.
Yeah.
So he's going backwards. So I think I'll do that, and then maybe the week after, just try and plug a couple of extra miles onto 20 on my own. Really, after going to the pain pit for that one, and then my first ever table.
So Sunday now is like 4 weeks out, isn't it? So then the week after is 3 weeks out. That really should be your last long run.
All right, there we are, and then we'll just fucking roll the dice for 6.2, isn't it?
Yep. I'm going to be in the same fucking boat, mate. I've had a long layoff. I've had three weeks now of like some progression. So yeah, hopefully both of us start and fucking finish.
You'll be done not long. You'll be done not long before I start, because we've had the my brother doesn't start until 11:30, I think.
Doesn't he? Are you not on the same time as him?
Obviously, I put 4 hours down.
Ah, yeah, of course you did. Billy Big Balls.
Yeah, so I'd probably drop back a pen, I think.
You're allowed to drop back, yeah. You'll be allowed to go back.
You're allowed to drop back.
You're allowed to drop back. They never have an issue with that. It's going forward, they always moan about.
Because if I get caught up in 3 miles of 10-minute miles, 13 after that's going to be chaos.
Yeah, that's the problem. You could end up blowing your race in the first 10k.
Yeah, exactly.
So you've got half 11 yet. Like London's 9:35. I'll be starting, or thereabouts, a couple of minutes after.
I'm sure it was. Yeah.
Sure.
I'll have a look. No. What else? While we're on Ponty, well done, Jack. Ready? PB out to Zagreb off.
Well done, Jack. I know he wasn't 100% happy, but a PB's a PB.
Oh, actually, I'm in the Navy wave, so I start at 10:10. Right. I think he's in. Yeah, 11:30.
Fucking hell, that's a big difference. But saying it's a big marathon in it now, so. Yeah.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 pens.
Wow. With all different start
9 o'clock. 9 o'clock start and an 11:30 start.
That's mental.
That's
the winners will be done before your brother starts. Fucking hell, that's crazy.
So,
I suppose
that's going to
London's
ruin
probably
his fucking day now.
London, I know,
Yeah.
is like a couple
You
of
just never
hours.
know, do you? Because you're always in the front, but you never really think about
No,
it,
I
do you?
never really paid much attention to it. No, I knew it was over a bit of time, but that's mad.
Welsh road relays were this week. Swansea, Harriers, Power Rangers were out in force. What a relay team.
Yeah, it's like a cheat code, isn't it, for a relay team, like.
It's not fair.
Well, they won by 4 minutes in the end, I think. I seen Varane's Insta story today, or reel, whatever you call it. He took him off. I think he got him second or third. And Butler came and took the lead, I think, handing over to Dav, who extended the lead, and then there we run the fastest leg of the day when he didn't need to, as he does.
Yeah, exactly. The Vets one as well. Craig was in the Vets.
Yeah, the Vets run, yeah. Craig, Matt, and Obbs, wasn't it?
Yeah, Craig was tamping. They put him on a last
but then
leg.
he couldn't have been tamping. He broke the tape. I seen him put his picture up with him
I
breaking
know.
the tape. Got to be happy with that picture. That's class.
I spoke because he was out in, like, he done 34, 36k, I think, Sunday, round about when I was running, but I didn't see him once.
Oh, did he?
And I seen Emily Marchant. She was flying and zipping around. I don't understand how you can be like running as fast as she can, and she sees you and takes her headphones out, stops, has a chat, and then gone again, same pace.
Again. Fair play to her.
There's me and my brother were walking, and he's like, I can't see her anymore. She's gone.
Yeah, because she's like back on. She had a bit of a downtime, a week off or whatever, didn't she, after Seville?
Yeah.
And then she just ramped it back up.
She had a bit of an injury scare, I think.
Yeah, I think she had a bit of a niggle, she said, didn't she? But I can see her going quicker again in London now. Beast.
Well, Emily is coming back on after we've all done a marathon now, and we'll have a chat with her on a Friday Night Lights to talk about... It's a massive change for Emily because she's always been training for triathlon, haven't she? So focusing on one distance. She's got one in the bag already. And a quick turnaround to London as well. She's got an endo this weekend as well, so that's sandwiched in the middle of the prep as well.
Nice.
So, I know. So, yeah. But well done, Swansea in the road relays, and everyone else that took part as well.
Yeah, well done. Looked a good event again.
Before we get on, I guess, the Barclays Marathon is over. No winners, no finishers. Is it a winner, or do you win or just finish?
Yeah, they have a winner, but then it's like finisher, and I don't think you have anything. You have a winner as in time, but I don't think they get anything special or finisher. So last year was 6 finishers. I think it was the biggest for a long time with the first female. So yeah, 6 finishers last year. So this year, I know he alters it slightly. We spoke about it to me before when it was on or when it started, or they were starting our week. Yeah, he made it. Lars had his revenge. This year made it fucking real hard because I think only 2 finished 3 loops, which he classes as the fun run. But then they tapped out because they were like, I think you get 40 hours to do the 3 loops. So they come in like 39 hours, 50 odd. So leaving them 20 hours to do 2 more loops, it was like impossible. So they tapped out. John Kelly, yet again, he's like completed it 3 times. And I think it was a Japanese guy. But yeah, mad. Like nobody finished. Like we'll have to try and speak to Ben from
you can sort that out.
Mark Emery will have to get him on for us. He was obviously there and see what that experience was like. I must be, because he's a good ultra runner, like, so he must. Well, I've seen the documentary. It looks just insane, like the terrain, just mental.
Class. Right, that's enough of us waffling on. We've got a good guest. We've always got a good guest. How rude of me.
Always every guest. Yes,
we've got
welcome anyone.
Yeah, but this guy lives for running, doesn't he? 24/7.
Yeah.
I'm podcasting as well. We're a very different podcast. Second best podcast produced by 2 boys from South Wales. I'm sure we'll talk about that as well. But shall we get Dan Nash on for a quick chat before we catch the second half of the football?
Yes, let's get him on and let's see what he got to say.
Let's get it on. All right, boys and girls, this episode is supported by Racked. Are you looking to gear up your club with some custom high-quality kit? Whether it's socks, t-shirts, vests, tri-suits or bike apparel, Racked has got you covered. With Racked, you can create fully custom kit for your club, designed just the way you want them. The bespoke in-house design service allows you to bring your ideas to life. Whether you're a running club, a cycling club or a triathlon club. And it's not just about style either. Rack delivers high-performance gear, perfect for all your training and racing needs. Ready to get started? Drop them an email on info@racked.online and kick off your custom design today. Welcome back. We have been joined by a familiar face for anyone that listens to podcasts in South Wales and hangs around finish lines of races, really. Dan Nash. Dan, thank you very much. How are you? Are you okay?
Good. Great to be here.
Yeah, thank you very much for giving us some time. You could probably be like, as a podcast to yourself, someone else asks you to go on a podcast, you're probably like, oh, you know, I'm always podcasting. I don't want to go on another one. But like I just said, it's a very different podcast to what you normally talk about, I guess.
It's a treat. I don't have to do any prep work. I just rock up and I should know about what I
come on and sit to us.
That's what I do every week. Nikki does all the prep. But so let's flow it all the way back. How old are you, Dan?
Just turned 31. 31 on Sunday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Does that change you? No, that doesn't change your racing group now, does it?
Not quite yet. Got a few more years till I'm properly old. Yeah.
35 for that. Masters, whatever it is. A few years yet.
Right. School. Were you active in school? Sports in school?
Yeah.
Where did you go to school?
I grew up in Cornwall, so I was actually born in New Zealand and then grew up in Cornwall. And I was pretty sporty. My played lots of sports. Wasn't necessarily good at them. I quickly found out I was good at running long, not very fast, long at a decent pace. But I did play a bit of squash, a bit of tennis, and avoided with team sports. I was pretty crap at rugby, football. I've got minimal hand-eye coordination and minimal speed, so it didn't really suit me that well. But quickly did a bit of cycling, did a bit of bit of running, but probably identified as a runner pretty early, certainly from like high school. I was that'd be my main sport.
That's quite rare compared to some of the guests we've had on, really, because a lot of the conversation we have is around running being a punishment in school and stuff like that. But were you in trouble a lot and just learned to love it? Or
I was a good kid. I was probably a bit too good. I was a bit of a. But now both my parents ran, and like I was doing like primary school cross country, like from like year 3, whatever, however old you are then. My mum led the club like at the school. I didn't have much choice in it. I was attending, you know, but I always liked it and did well at it. And you stick at things you're good at, don't you? So just kept it up, really.
Yeah, absolutely. So how long did you spend in New Zealand then?
Oh, literally a year. So I got my passport. So like when the UK shuts down, I'll see you later, guys. Every man for himself.
Be off.
But my dad was a teacher, and he just they didn't exchange for a year. So swap houses, swap jobs, cool. Been lucky enough to go back a couple of times for not since I was like 12 or so, but it's good country.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because I lived in South Africa when I was a kid. My dad worked in the coal mines, and then they were all shutting down in Wales. So we emigrated when I was 6 months old until I was 2.5. But then you don't really remember much. So you're lucky you've been back, because I've never been back to South Africa. So I lived there for 2 years and don't remember a single minute of it. Yeah. So it's always good to go back, I guess, isn't it?
Need to start saving.
Yeah.
You'll have to do comrades to go back.
Tell you what, that's on my bucket list. It's on my bucket list at some point. Yeah, I'd love to do that.
Save that for the end. I'd like to do it one day.
That's the one through the desert, is it?
No, it's like a double marathon, really, and it's like, sort of 50-odd miles.
Yeah, 50
down
miles.
here 1 year and up here.
Yeah. It's like the scale of like a marathon major type field. Like you have 10,000 people. Like
huge, doing
this event.
I imagine you've ticked off a lot of your bucket list as well by now, Dan, but it keeps growing. But we'll get on to that. So high school, you've started running. You go off to university then?
Yeah, that's what brought me to Wales. I started at Cardiff Uni in 2012, and still here quite a few years later. It's in South Wales. Moved up to the valleys now, but came to Cardiff in 2012. Joined the athletics club there in the uni. Became pretty involved in that. Met my wife there. And still got loads of friends who are from the athletics club, and I guess that was my segue into to run the Welsh running scene. And like, it's as you guys know, like such a, compared to like the southwest of England, it's a really good running scene. Like so many clubs out there, so many events, so many good races, like great places for training. I guess I joined Cardiff Athletics Club once I graduated. That would have been 2016. Stuck with them for a few years, well, until quite recently, until I joined Ponty Rodents. No looking back now. No.
We made a rule at the start of season 2 to have no rodents on, but you just can't escape them.
Well, they're everywhere now, aren't they? They're everywhere.
Too many of them.
Arwell sent me a photo last night, and it was, hang on 2 seconds. Where's it gone? It was Beth Potter, and she posted photos from, where was she on the weekend? Pulford 10K, and Paul was in the background.
Yeah. Well, he gets everywhere, especially, doesn't he? He gets everywhere. In everyone's DMs.
Yeah.
So what did you go to study?
So I studied biomed, biomedical sciences. Basically, I'm a failed medic. I want to do medicine. Got the grades, but didn't get in. So went and did biomed at Cardiff Uni, and I hated it, to be honest. Didn't really like it. So I got through it. Then went and did a master's up the hill at Cardiff Met in sports science, and then decided that being a student was quite fun, so did a PhD. And then eventually ran out of qualifications to get. So then eventually at age 29, I got my first proper job, I guess. So took my time. I got there in the end.
Oh, yeah, another one that's like the Van Wilder of running. So when did you start taking running seriously?
Yeah.
Because you're pretty serious at it now.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say like 16 was when I started taking it more seriously. I think that was when I dropped stuff. Like I was playing squash a couple of times a week, and I was doing some cyclocross racing, and I packed that in. Got a coach for the first time, first and only time, and started upping the mileage. I was taking it pretty casually before that. Like I was sort of doing my own thing, and probably running, 4 or 5 times a week, and thought I was training pretty seriously, but then realized when I got a coach that I probably wasn't. So I started doing 3 hard sessions a week and probably running at that time like 50, 60 miles. From then it's just sort of done a little bit more. And I think I was always someone who was like good, but not a freak. Like I wasn't a Derry Griffiths. Just like good, super good, right, the whole way through. I'd be at a good level, but I would be going to like inter-counties cross-country races and like, the UK cross-country champs, and come in like between 20th and 30th like every year. And like it was pissing me off. I'd be like every year, like, up there, but not quite up there.
Not quite, yeah.
And that's pretty much what I've been ever since. I think just that notch below, the good, like good, but like not quite breaking through. But it's probably just where I'm genetically sat, I reckon. I'm still enjoying trying to get faster.
Exactly. But did it change a lot when you started getting the coaching then?
Yeah, I did have a big breakthrough, really. I was running like 34 minutes. That's the thing, because I was part of a running, my club was the East Cornwall Harriers, which is a tiny little, it's like road running club, so not like an athletics club like most juniors go to. So I was doing like pretty young, I was doing 10Ks and 5-mile races and 4-mile races and all these random road race distances. And I was running consistently like 34 minutes for 10K at like 15. And then got a coach, and like I worked with him for like 6 months, and then ended up running like 32 minutes in like one jump, just 34 to 32. And I think I was with him for about 3 or 4 years, and I got down to like 30 minutes, 23 seconds, I think was my PB for quite a long time when I was about 21 or something like that. But now I couldn't get told what to do. I like playing around with myself too much. I've got too much of an idea of what I think works and what doesn't, and I couldn't follow someone else's instructions now. I just disagree with them, say you were wrong, and wouldn't last. It wouldn't last.
Yeah, I'm the same, but very amateur.
But your job, you must get so many conflicting's the wrong word, but so many different training styles and opinions coming through the door every day in your job that you've got to like compartmentalize the information you're getting all the time. And I'm sure you take a lot of good stuff just from the people you work with every day as well.
I mean, that's the thing these days. There's so much information flying around, but you can't just jump on each hype and each bandwagon. Like, you can't go, right, we're going to do double threshold now because Ingebrigtsen's doing double threshold. And actually, some guys out in the States, they're doing 200 bars a week and you need to be doing that. Or actually, no, we need to do low volume and really high intensity. And you can't just jump on every bandwagon. You've got to filter it out and go, right, what's worked for me before and what's going to fit my lifestyle, because who can go and do double threshold? Who's got the time to go do double threshold? Like, it's not going to happen for most people. And most people don't need that. So, yeah, I think when I first started coaching myself, which was probably, after this, I parted ways with this coach, which was, I think I was about 22 then. So, yeah, 9 years ago. I made a lot of stupid mistakes to start with, I think. But it was funny because I think I learned, I think I was just about learn what worked for me. And then we had a kid and that threw everything out the window for like 2 years.
Yeah, change everything.
Yeah, so...
who's to blame for that, mate?
Yeah. It's self-inflicted, isn't it? Self-inflicted. But, it's great, obviously, being a dad. But it throws a lot of challenges. Like sleep, and then it was going to nursery and bringing bugs home all the time, and still sleep at age 3 years old. But it'll soon be taking them off to clubs and all that sort of stuff, won't it? But But now, I was pretty shit for about 18 months, like my running. But I set myself a goal of PBing every event as a dad, and I have managed to do it. Apart from the 10K, it still eluded me. But 5K, half marathon, PB'd. So hopefully that can continue and get a bit faster before I get to that Vet 35, Vet 40 landmark. I've got a few years, as we said.
Absolutely. I was looking for a photo earlier, obviously, to put on the cover. And you've got a Great Britain vest. You've got a Wales vest. How did these come about?
Yeah, obviously, growing up, dream was to get a GB vest, and I think the opportunity came when they were sending a team to a 50K world champs, and they were taking a marathon team. And I was like, well, I'll stick my hat in the ring for a 50K. How hard can it be, you know? And I didn't even know that it was happening. I ran Brighton Marathon one year and I ran 2:18, and I got told afterwards that, that's a qualifier time for World 50K. And I sort of went in my brain, but didn't really process it. And then a week later, I looked it up, and the closing window for applications had closed. So I sent them a nice email. I said, applications are closed, but they closed the day before, I think. I said, would you still consider me? The selection meeting hasn't happened yet. And they're like, oh yeah, we'll put you in. So I got picked for that, and then happened to run really well. I got a bronze medal at the World Champs in 2019. I don't know how, because training gone really badly, to be honest. But I think I just paced it well, a bit of luck. Loads of South Africans out there, which is they were the ones to beat, because they've got this pedigree. Talking about Comrades Marathon, they've got this pedigree of ultra running and stuff. But I think Comrades had literally been a month ago, so a lot of them had run Comrades and then come to do this 50K, and they weren't fit. I think I think it was a Spanish guy in first, then it was a South African second. I managed to get third. So yeah, that was basically just an excuse to get a GB vest. You see, it was I'll do a 50K. I'm not doing 100K, but I'll do a 50K for a GB vest. Yeah, I do that.
They all count.
Yeah, exactly.
And you got a medal from it.
Yeah, and I did go to the World University Cross Country Champs in 2016 as well, but like it was a GB team, but basically they weren't organised enough, and you got like these shitty like GB vests, which were just a white vest that they'd printed Great Britain on. So it was a GB team, but like it didn't really feel like it was a GB team because the vest was awful.
It's not like British athletics, the scrimp and saves it on athletes.
Well, they've got worse. But those bad back then.
I know, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. So I went to World Unis for GB. I went to this 50k World Champs in 2019, and then I went back for another 50k of the European Champs in 2022. But this was when my son was like 6 months old, so this was peak not running very well. So I managed to just about qualify. I ran a 2:15 marathon, which was a PB at the time when my son was 8 weeks old, but I was already really fit, you see, so I just had to maintain that for 8 weeks. And then it quickly went downhill. Not that I'm blaming him at all, obviously, but yeah, managed to qualify and then got to the champs and didn't run that well, but it was cool to get another GB vest.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, you race a lot as well, don't you? You're always, every time I go to an event, you're racing.
I see. I used to race like all the time, like loads, and probably too much. Like I was just racing and not training. Whereas these days, like get my para 10 up, I do race a lot less. Like it's just get into races is more difficult in the family time. But I try to pick the ones that I want to do, and actually because it is easier just to race local, I tend to do the local ones. So like,
that's easier for us as well to get to and photograph, because we tend to go and photograph them, and then you can just tag them on Instagram and then get a follow and then ask them to come on the pod, innit? But you are by far one of my favorite people to photograph because you are so fast, but you just look so vacant when you're running.
I'm dead in the eyes, I think. Yeah.
Like, the medic is going to need a medic. Quick.
Nice.
If she's in the zone, it's good to see.
Yeah, I wouldn't call my running style as elegant or smooth, but I think I'm in the zone. I'm definitely in the zone.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Obviously, we couldn't go on without speaking about pacing Philly Bowden as well. How did that come about, and how was that entire experience for you, I guess?
Oh, it was a really cool experience, yeah. It was a bit of a funny in that, like, I was... we were away camping in the Alps, and I'd been trying to like go off my phone. The internet was dodgy out there anyway, so I turned my Wi-Fi off and was trying not to go on the apps. And then I did check into Instagram, and so I got a DM from Philly, and I was like, "Oh, what's this then?" And she was basically saying, it was a generic message. She was obviously messaged a load of people saying, I'm looking for someone to pace me around Berlin the whole way. Like, we'll give you expenses and maybe a little bit of extra cash. But then I basically had to put in an application because she had asked like about 6 people, and she's like, so I said, oh yeah, I'd be interested, thinking, I should just give you the job then. And she was like, okay, so what are your credentials? What are your pacing credentials? I was like, well, I've not paced anyone before, but I think I paced Clara Evans for a few sessions, and I'd literally put on like I'm pretty good at pacing in terms of like my marathons. Like the last like 6 or so marathons, I've pretty much negative or even splitted them, and I sent her in my halfway splits for the last few marathons I've done, and just said, look, I'll be fine. And she picked me, so I had a nice free weekend in Berlin. I'd never done Berlin Marathon. Really cool. A marathon. It was actually, I thought the atmosphere was actually better than London, to be honest. Like, there just didn't seem to be any dead spots. I've also got like tainted memories of London because I've run it twice and it's been really bad. It's gone really badly twice. So maybe I'm just banking it out. But no, it's super fast. Really cool. I've not been to Berlin at all. So cool city. Didn't know what to expect with Philly. She's a bit of an extrovert, not exactly the same as me. Yeah. I'm quite
very different
quite
people.
A quiet guy, although I have a podcast. But actually, she was quite different in person. She's definitely toned down. Like, it's a little bit, she's definitely a little bit. It's performative, isn't it? It's a little bit of an act too.
Yeah,
like,
it's gotta be, isn't it?
It's part of who she is as well. She's not. I'm not saying she's a massive introvert, and she's completely different off camera. But it's a different level of enthusiasm.
It's the content game as well, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Dog eat dog.
But
and she's probably for the race. She's in the zone and she's got a job to do. And get that
and I didn't see much of her outside of the race. We went for dinner afterwards with her and all of her crew, and that was really nice. But
nice.
But she was super grateful, and we did a great pacing job. We had a great pacing strategy. I followed the plan. We felt a bit of pressure because what I should have done was write down the splits, but I didn't. I was like, you know what, I can just work this out, because she wanted 3:29 a K. She wanted 3:29 a K for the first half, and in my head I was going, well, that's 3.5 K. You just do 3.5 times 2K, 3K, 4K. Knock off the seconds. That's easy maths, isn't it? And that is easy maths until you get to about 25K into a marathon, and then it's not easy maths anymore. When you're getting a bit tired,
I say this every time, innit? In a marathon, you think you're brilliant at it, and then you get to that halfway point, and your head goes. You start forgetting everything.
Yeah, but we managed to pull it off. I did. We were like 10 seconds or so slow through halfway, but then really picked it up. And by the end, it wasn't pacing. I was just encouraging her and shouting at her, screaming at her to go as hard as she could and finish it off. And she got a very nice time bonus for running the time she did. So I think she was pretty grateful. And it was a cool experience. I had a nice weekend away in Berlin. I'd be up for it. If anyone else wants pacing, give me a shout.
I was going to say, that's going to be on the CV now. Top pace.
Yeah. You didn't fancy doing a Jake Smith and just leaving her and going for the
strictly like in the meeting, I had to leave her at the elite athlete meeting. The Pacers had to leave her at the Brandenburg gate. So which is like 400 meters, about 300 meters to go. So like there, I still finished because I was like, I'm getting this on my para 10. I'm having a 2:25 down there, but I had to like back off and like let her finish so that they could take all the photos of her. And especially for anyone who's winning the race, you don't want the female winner to be clouded by a male pacemaker taking the glory. So I just like snuck down the outside of the course and across the mat.
Perfect for you, Dan. All right.
Yeah,
just in and out.
Exactly. Yeah. I was flying visit. Flew home the next same day. Back to dad duties on the about 3 a.m. that next morning.
Opportunities like that make it all worthwhile, don't they? It's just an incredible opportunity, just because you're good at counting when you're running.
Exactly. Yeah.
Still got to do the running as well.
Yeah. No, I've been very lucky. I am very lucky, but I have been to some really cool places. I probably just about break even in terms of running, like, with prize money and stuff. I haven't got any sponsors, but like with prize money, especially if I go chasing it a bit, like that's going to pay for going to places like Valencia and doing a couple of races in Europe. So for a hobby, it's not bad. I think I worked out last year. I did chase for money a little bit, and I worked out I calculated all my training hours over the year, however many it was, probably about 500 hours or whatever it was of running. And I worked out I was on about £7 an hour. If you look at the prize money and all of that.
That's less than minimum wage.
Not taking into account buying shoes and going to races. So I was like, well, for a hobby, at least I'm in my profit just about, or probably breaking even by the time I've paid for some travel and a few pairs of shoes and stuff. But yeah. All a bit of fun.
But you have secured a decent sponsor for the podcast, haven't you?
Yeah, we got a source of supporting us, which has been really appreciated. They outreach to us actually. We deliberately didn't go hunting for sponsors, and it's just we were just lucky. And one of the a coach / runner who listens to our podcast supports the person who does all the marketing for SOAR and they asked this coach, we were after sponsoring some podcasts, who would you recommend supporting? And they put us forward and got in touch, and they've supported us since November. So that's nice. Get some nice saw kit, which is not the cheapest. Really nice stuff, but not the cheapest. And a little bit of pocket money too, which is nice. Yeah. So that's the closest we got.
Should have said yes when they asked, Nick.
Sorry, what was that, Gareth?
Don't do that.
So we should have said yes when they asked.
No. Next time.
Yeah. Definitely, absolutely. So if you're listening, I'm an extra large. I don't know if you do extra large, actually. Oh. And what about you? You mentioned obviously getting your first real job at 29. But that's massively based around running as well, right?
Yeah. So my PhD was it was part funded by Welsh Athletics and Welsh Triathlon, and as part of doing as well as doing my research, I was also doing like sport physiology support and testing for their performance athletes. So anyone on program, we were testing them. And then when my PhD wrapped up, finally got that ticked and done. Me and my PhD supervisor, I had the idea to open this testing center up to the public. So we Welsh Athletics and Welsh Triathlon still buy into our service. We still provide testing for them, but anyone can sort of come and access the same level of support through just as an individual client, so they can come and get sub max tested, get their thresholds, get their VO2 max, economy, training zones, all that sort of stuff. We do like shoe testing as well, which is quite fun. Like you can come in with like 3 or 4 different pairs of super shoes and go, actually, for me, which one am I the most efficient and most economical? And actually, there are some differences there, and it's not always the ones that you think would be the best. So it's cool. My work, hobby, profession are all basically the same, really, which is quite fun.
Did you go down to Dan, Nick, or did you done into Swansea Uni? Was it?
No, I did. It was the Cardiff Uni. It was a different thing, wasn't it? It was that one where they put all the dots on
biomechanics. Yeah.
Biomechanics stuff. It was like a free. They were looking for people certain age, certain paces. I went and done our last summer, I think it was. I just done that. That was on like a flat treadmill. Just they built the paces up over 40 minutes, I think it was.
It's an awful treadmill. It was something to do with an awful treadmill with like a
normal treadmill. Yeah, it was awful.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was something to do with the new technology of filming you so they didn't have to do all the markers.
They've got this new like markerless, this markerless system they're trying to do. You see it, don't you, on Instagram or whatever, people with all the dots on, and they've got a system now where you don't have to have that.
They don't have
just validating that system. But
that's what it was. Yeah, so no, it was different.
So what you do now then is a commercial offering as well, then, is it?
Yeah. So you can just come and pay to get tested, just like we do with the Clara Evanses of the world, or anyone else who's on performance program at Welsh Athletics.
I bet that's like, even when like obviously it's been in the works, but that coincides really well with the running boom as well, because I bet your doors must be revolving all day, every day. Running's bigger than ever now.
I mean, yeah, definitely. Definitely in terms of the numbers, it's crazy, isn't it? And it just seems to be taken off more and more, which is great. It's fantastic. Like when I came to Cardiff uni in 2012, like I said, like Cardiff Parkrun would have 250 people, maybe 300 on a good day, and now like it's 800, 900, isn't it, every week? And it's carnage down there. I wouldn't go. Like, it's too many people.
It's bad.
But yeah, we're pretty busy. Although like the university Cardiff Met isn't always the most organisation, but we're having a website upgrade at the minute, and they've just decided to delete our webpage. It's just gone. They didn't tell us it was gone. Just deleted it. And I went to send a link to someone one day, and they said, that link doesn't work. I'm like, oh really? It should do. Like Google Sport Physiology Hub Cardiff Met, no sign of it. Doesn't exist anymore. So but we're definitely trending upwards with people coming. Yeah, so we're pretty busy. Yeah.
Yeah. are you doing your like due diligence before someone's coming in, or could I just book a slot and rock up and do a 35-minute 5K on a treadmill and ask you for my data?
Yeah, I mean, we there's a bit of a screening process. Like you got to be at least 18. And like for certain tests, we don't want you to be over 60. Like we can do sub-max tests with people, but we don't want to get a 70-year-old on the treadmill and push them as hard as they can. Anyone with heart disease, any of that sort of stuff, like respiratory conditions, like we do a bit of a screening, but actually pretty much most people can come and get involved.
Yeah, could do it.
And actually, it's sometimes for people who are literally brand new to running who get the most out of it because they've got no clue on where to start. Like, if you speak to, you guys like a club runner, they know what an easy run is. They know what interval, sort of pace for interval should be at.
Yeah.
Whereas someone who's just like, they've done a bit of running by themselves, they're running a couple of times a week, they've got no clue. Like, no clue whatsoever.
I had to text Nicky on the weekend, check my heart rate, because I was like, I don't know is this dangerous or not? But he said I'm all right so far, so good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, but I'm no doctor. Don't take all my advice.
No, but that's the thing. We are so individual. Like I had a guy in earlier. He got his heart. I did a VO2 max test with him. Heart rate got up to 212. 212.
Jesus.
Heart rate. I mean, mine. If my heart rate got anywhere near that, I'd be dead. Like it would explode.
Yeah,
it would explode.
That's whoa.
Mine's going to be higher because I'm heavier and I'm working harder.
It's
not harder. I'm carrying more.
It's very individual. Like I've tested. I mean, you got this whole idea that as you get older, your heart rate max goes down, which is true. But I've tested 25-year-olds who've got a max heart rate of 160, and I've tested 25-year-olds with a max heart rate of 210. It's very individual.
Yeah,
very individual.
Can be different. Yeah.
Absolutely. What's the plan for the rest of the year, Dan? And the rest of this age group, I guess. What do you want to achieve before you move into vets, and what's on the cards this year?
Well, I've got so many. I'm not really seeing the getting into the vets as a barrier, to be honest. Like I look at Andy Davis running like 2:14 marathon aged in his early 40s. I've got a mate who was out in Valencia with me from Devon, Ronnie Richmond. He ran 2:15 like 0-0 at Valencia, which was a PB, and he fell over at the start, got trampled, jumped back up again. Wow. And it turns out he was concussed, so he ran the whole marathon with concussion. He ran 2:15. He's 42. Wow. God knows how old Kipchoge is, like because he's been
he's around the same. He's early 40s. Yeah,
like and like we don't even know what his age is because he was world class in the 90s and he was world class in the early 2020s. Like, what's God knows. But I mean,
he's like these African footballers you're seeing. It's like he's 21 years and they look 47 years old.
Yeah, the passports don't tell the truth.
But
no. What's next then? What's your next race?
So London Marathon's the next race. In the elite field there. Training's been bumpy for the last few weeks. I got ill, like everyone got ill, and then I got back to running eventually after. It was only 4 days completely off, but I also jogged for like another 4 or 5 days because I just wasn't up for running, and then started back and did my first interval session. Hurt my knee, so struggling with that now. So we'll see how the next few weeks go. I've got 4.5 weeks to salvage something, but beforehand I was really fit. Like I ran a PB at Barcelona, 64 minutes, and training gone really well. So hopefully pull something out of the bag and run a half decent spot there. But then like more long term, well, I'll probably go back to Valencia again. It's just so fast, and like definitely got some bucket list things. I do want to go and do some more ultras at some point. Probably want to maximize what I can do in my marathon. I'd love to try and make a GB team in my marathon. That's probably like one of the bucket list ones, like GB or Welsh team, make the Commonwealth Games. Although like no marathon in Glasgow, which is ridiculous. But
crazy that is.
Because I mean, when I ran 2:15 the first time. Like the nomination standard to go to the Commonwealth Games was 2:15:30, and I ran 2:15:34. And I probably wouldn't have got picked if I'd run 2:15:10, but just because of the process and how it works. But to try and make a Commonwealth Games in a marathon or like a European team in a marathon, I was trying to make the European road running team, which is happening in a few weeks at Valencia. That was my go-to to try and make the team there, and the time was 2:12:30. I ran 2:12:59, so I'm good at just near misses, to be honest. If I can, I'd love to try and make a GB team in a marathon, and then I can't see myself, retiring. Not that I'm a professional, but like I would probably just go longer. I would like to go and do 100K at some point, do some like UTMB, that sort of thing. I like the trails, and I think as I start to get a bit slower, I take on some new challenges. We'll see what happens.
Absolutely.
Plenty of time.
Yeah, I'm not. I feel like I have got a lot of time. I think I'm still working. I think there's still things I can do in training. Everyone's just getting faster. Momentum is crazy.
Yeah.
Right? If I'd run 2:12:59 10 years ago, like of course with super shoes now, that would have put me well up there, like in the UK rankings. I was 10th last year. Running that time would have put me. Running that time would have taken to the Olympics a few years ago. Like
not long ago.
Like London 2012, crazy. I think the time was 2:16:30 or something.
Shit.
Yeah. Like you've just got Nicky's got 14 years on you, and you've PB'd twice last year, didn't you?
I short the stuff, yeah.
Yeah, but still PBs, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think I can still PB over every distance that I care about, which is basically 5K and up. I mean, other bucket list ones, I've done 14:05 for 5K, so I've got to go sub 14. And I've done 29:23 for 10K, so I've got to go sub 29, and then I can sort of leave those shorter events, to be honest. Because going sub 14 would be great. It'd be really cool. It'd be a nice thing to say you've done, but it's not gonna make a team in anything. Like it's not good enough to go and make even like a Welsh team at a proper big into competition. Like the Commonwealth Games standard for the marathon for the 10K last time was 28:30. So you'd probably have to run a low 28 or sub 28 to make a team in the Commonwealth Games. So that's outside of what I could do. Like, but it'd be cool to say you're a 28-minute 10K runner.
Yeah, just for yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Be cool to say I'm a 28-minute 5K runner, but that's the plan after the marathon. We'll get back down. Right. Dan, thank you ever so much for your time. We'll take a quick break now. I think anything else, Nick, we missed?
No, it was class. Yeah. Enjoyed that.
We'll take a quick break and then we hand the questions over to the community. So we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back, all right? Welcome back. It's time to hand over to the community. But first, Nick, you've got your favourite questions for Dan?
Yeah, I have. Right, Dan. Favourite distance?
Marathon. It's got to be the marathon, isn't it? Iconic.
Yeah.
Easy.
Same for me. Yeah. Favourite shoe?
Oh, favourite shoe. Tell you what, I really like a shoe they don't make anymore, which was like the New Balance Zantes, which just reminds me of as a kid. I had about 10 pairs of them, and you could do anything in them. Like at the time, you just did everything in them, didn't you? You wouldn't have race. You would have. Yeah. They were just my race shoes. They were my easy run shoes. They were my tempo shoes. Yeah. And actually, I want to try and find a pair just because of the memories. I think I just remember really liking it.
There's a pair on eBay.
I don't even know what they are. They're on eBay.
What size are you?
8.5. New Balance Zantes. Oh, they're great shoe.
Could you fit into a 7?
Oh, if I cut my toes off, I probably would.
But yeah, they're like the old school. Like back in the day, everything was a running shoe, wasn't it? And everything shoe.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. There was no difference there to the super shoes and the super forms. It was a running shoe.
Yeah, I ran my first marathon in them around 2:22.
Yes.
Actually, no, that would be my second marathon, but I think I did run my first one in them as well. Yeah, I just a good all rounder shoe.
Class. Favorite session?
Tempo, threshold stuff. Whatever, just controlled hard running. Lots of reps.
Yeah.
I'm too old to kill myself.
Time or like?
What's that? Sorry.
Do you go like? Do you do sort of like an hour's tempo, hour threshold, or do you?
Split up. Yeah. Well, I did 8 times 6 minutes this morning, something like that. As a kid, I would do 3 hard sessions a week, and I'd kill myself every time. I couldn't do that now. I just couldn't mentally. I couldn't psych myself up to go work really hard. Once a week, let alone 3 times a week. I can't do it.
Yeah, exhausted. Yeah. Favorite race?
Favorite race. Used to love Noscalan. That was a great one. I did that for quite a few years, but I've not been back for a while. It's probably good Cardiff half, I think. Like combination of like the atmosphere, local, so many people. Cardiff half, keeping it local.
Yeah, it's a good staple one, but we got beef for it because last year when Gareth finished, there was no bananas. We got beef for them.
No bananas left.
So he's filming with that.
It's funny now since that. Every time someone races, they'll send a photo from the finish line of them eating a banana. So it's what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah. It's a cult classic for the pod now. Banana game.
Last one for the favourite. It's not really a favourite, but a bucket list race. I know you've mentioned a couple, but if you could pick one, what would be one race you'd love to do?
I mean, like I've said, Comrades Marathon, so that's definitely one. But I'd love to go do Tokyo Marathon. I think that'd be the
fucking people. That's the only one I need for the six.
Yeah. So I've only done London and Berlin, but I think out of the majors, I think Tokyo is the one that most appeals to me. Just I'd love to go to Japan, different culture. They just love running, don't they?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're huge. Like they're marathon runners. You talk about marathon runners, it's insane. They are levels.
Yeah.
Can't take the 4 of us sort it out.
I'll have a word. I'll see what I can do.
Have a word. Yeah. Who sponsors Tokyo? I don't even know who sponsors them.
Yeah. Asics, surely.
Yeah, you'd think so.
Yeah. Osaka Tiger, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right then, let's jump into what we've got off Instagram. I'm going to tell who's asking these because it's always a bit more fun then. Sheppy Lloyd wants to know what your thoughts are on double threshold and does he do it himself?
Yeah, I think it probably works for about 1% of people, and I don't do it. I think
that 1%.
I think it works. I think it works for very experienced middle distance athletes. So if you're running for 1500, 3K, 5K, maybe 10K, and you're professional, maybe that's what you want to do. But for real people, they ain't got the time. And for people who are training for a marathon, well, you're better off just doing one big session. That's my take. Good.
Nathan Howells wants to know if you're sponsored by SO. Kind of, I guess.
Yeah, our podcast is. So, they. I'm under no contractual obligation to wear their kit, but they send it to me for free. So, and my Ponte vest is SO, so it's quite a nice.
Yeah, you're so
I'll be running in SO regardless. I already had a SO vest before they sponsored podcast.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They are the ones you want, like in a SO, say Sky, stuff like that. So you can still pick your own shoe then.
Yeah, it's a good deal.
Craig Jones from Swansea Areas wants to know where you see yourself in 5 years.
Hopefully a little bit faster and probably still in South Wales somewhere. My wife wants to drag us to Swansea, so my wife's a Swansea Harrier actually, so which I've done well to avoid being a.
Where do you live in now, Ellen?
I live just north of Risca, near Cumcar. Good place for running.
That's different to Cornwall, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very different to Cornwall.
Let's have a look what we got. Freddie Evans wants to know, do you think you are close to having fully maximized your potential, or can you still get better? I think we've answered that throughout. But in a sentence.
I tell you what, I ran I ran 2:15 at Valencia last year, which was the second time I'd run 2:15. And I think I said to Jemima, my wife, saying, I think if everything went perfectly and I could really commit to it, I could run a 2:13. And then things didn't go perfectly and didn't go amazing, and I ran 2:12:59. And now I think, well, there's loads more there. Like I can go run a 2:10. I'm not going to run a 2:05, but I think I could run a 2:10, 2:11, right? Without having to change my lifestyle and get a sponsor and go professional. I think there's things I could still do.
And that's the important bit, is that balance, because you're not just a runner, you're a husband, you're a dad, you've got your job and everything as well. So it's
you can't
I can't think of the word. Priorities, balancing everything.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm not gonna sacrifice all that to run a minute quicker in a marathon, which in the grand scheme of things ain't gonna make a difference. Like I'm still gonna be a keen amateur,
and you might sacrifice it all, and it still goes tits up on a day, and you don't run that 2:09.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Arwell from We Run Wales wants to know, if after marathon you changed your training and went all in on track, what event are you choosing, and what would you say your ceiling would be? These are good questions.
So I got literally no speed, like literally no speed. So Jemima's run faster than me over 400 meters. Like her PB is 58.5, I think, and I've got 58.7 on my power of 10. And if I went to do one now, I reckon I'd run about 61 flat out, 400 meters, 61 seconds. So over 1,500 meters, I'm shit. Over 3K, I'm all right. So it'll be 5K, 10K. And I might even do some track this summer, because I do like track.
You were in Tonopandi last year.
Yeah, that was my first track race in about 3 years, and I really enjoyed it. It was good. Like
it was good, wasn't it? Good evening.
Yeah, it's just it's a bit different. And I reckon, like I said, I need to go sub 14 and sub 29. So I think doing that is within my limits, but I'm not going much faster than that. I could maybe run a 13:50 and 28:50, but I'm not running 13:30. It's not going to happen.
Big jump.
It's just basically, it'd be a sprint for 12 and a half laps. It's not.
Fucking hell of a long sprint.
Carly Cole from Parkbrinbach wants to know, is there a fitness supplement that everyone obsessed with but you think is rubbish? Supplement, cold dipping, whatever. What is the trend that everyone needs to chuck in the bin?
Everyone's obsessed with supplements. Like I had UK anti-doping turn up at my door on Friday. Never happened before.
Wow.
But they turned up at my door at 7 a.m. I was like, who the hell is ringing a bell at 7 a.m. UK anti-doping? And I had to declare, you got to declare your supplements to say, in case they're contaminated or anything like that. So I had nothing to put on my list, like paracetamol and ibuprofen, because I've been ill. People are obsessed with supplements. Most of them are a load of crap. What about those what's the mushrooms they all go on about? Pure Sport, all that stuff.
Lion's Mane.
Yeah. Anything from Pure Sport, avoid that.
Cordyceps.
Yeah. Cordyceps. They're going to improve your VO2 max. Apparently, I don't think so. But if the supplements that work are caffeine, bicarb, that's about it. Like,
You're not mad on supplements either, Nick, are you?
No.
I'm
just old, so I got to take stuff for my ailments. Like say, ibuprofen, stop the aches.
And it wouldn't be a question and answer session for Dan Nash without a question of Owain. And he wants to know, when can we expect the Dan Nash Run Club merchandise?
Bloody hell! This comes from Jenny Nesbitt and Dave Long. They're obsessed with this notion that we're going to we're having a run club. You see. And
right.
Jenny spoke about you're on the same trailer now.
What's that? Sorry.
Jenny spoke about bumping into you and Owain on the same
Tough trail.
Tough trail.
Nah, it's not happening. I'm afraid, Owain. If you want to make some merch for a podcast, you crack on. But I'm. We're not starting a run club anytime soon.
What's your views on running clubs?
I don't mind run clubs. I think if there's more people running, that's great. Jemima goes to it's a non-affiliated women's only run club in Newport Female Running Network, and they're not affiliated, but they're like this. You could run pretty much every day of a week with them. They're sponsored by Tiny Rebel. We go to Tiny Rebel after a couple of runs each week. Like, sounds good to me. Going for a beer after a run.
Yeah.
I think I hope it gets more people into clubs, because I think clubs are
that's why I think
it's entry level, isn't it? Like,
it gets more people off
the cannabis to cocaine.
I feel like if you get to a certain level from being in a run club, then you are going to join a club, because you're going to go to races, you're going to see people, and the faster people are all going to be in club vests, and you go, maybe I should go join one of them. So I'm all for more people running. I think it's great, and I can see some run clubs are a bit annoying on social media, and I think I've seen it. Often they do sort of they manifest around some sort of influencer, don't they? And it's really just sort of a vanity project for the influencer sometimes, but that's not always the case. I've seen some really good examples.
But sometimes, I would agree wholeheartedly with that. Yeah, sometimes is this a run club, or is it more? Is it a face of something like in it? But that's another story for another day.
Yeah. Right.
Do you listen to music when you're running?
I never, unless I'm on a treadmill. I've never run with music. I can't. I've tried once. Didn't get on with it.
You're two of the same people.
Yeah. So I'm doing. Yeah. So I'm doing about 10 to 14 hours a week of running, and most of that is just time in my own head.
Raw dogging.
Nothing going on.
No wonder you look so vacant.
That's it.
But what song are you going to add to the Runs playlist?
All right, so I'm going to shout out to my brother, who is studied acting and music at drama school. His band's Pontus Peace. You can find him on Spotify. And he's got a song called Therapize, which is really good. You can go check it out. You've got to be a bit left-wing leaning to listen to his music. He's not quite an extremist, but one of his songs includes the phrase, "We're going to murder the government." So
I fucking like him already. I would. I'm gonna have to get
he needs a few more listens on Spotify. So
I will be on this.
Go and give it a good.
So it's Pontus. What was the song called?
Therapize. So like therapy, but THERAPISE.
All right. He's like one below Kanye West at the moment, because he's gone bloody batshit crazy. And if who's going to play Dan Nash in a movie of his life?
My life would be pretty unexciting, I think, but it would.
I don't know.
I reckon
I've really enjoyed this episode. You've you're running life.
Yeah.
Not so much grow with everything else. A movie about your running life.
Yeah. I'll have Matt Damon doing me. I reckon we got a few similar features, maybe. I don't know. I'm not that good on names, to be honest.
That makes Owain
Matt Damon.
That makes Owain Ben Affleck now. Are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. You can be Ben.
That was a good duo.
Yeah, absolutely. Dan, that has been an absolute pleasure. I've really enjoyed. Are you down San Domenico supporting this weekend, or you're not about?
I'm not about, unfortunately. I'm working. I've been dragged into the lab.
Right, I know. Well, anything else, Nick, before we wrap it up?
No, just big thanks, Dan, for coming on, and appreciate your time, and best of luck ahead for London. Hope everything goes well the next few weeks.
Yeah, good luck.
And that's it for us. We will see you at San Domenico on the start line.
Both of us.
Cheers, both.
Thank you very much, guys.